Hi, this is Mr. Wartsky again, and this is the third part of our three-part metacognition series of how to think or how to learn how to think. So it's important to think about our thinking. It's important to move from one level of Bloom's taxonomy to the next. So here's the question is how do we develop our study habits to help us learn and how to think? And the suggestion has been made that the study cycle is the answer. So here is the study cycle. We have preview, attend, review, study, and assess. Those are the 5 steps in the cycle. You notice the cycle, so you can start anywhere, but we usually start at preview. So what do all these things really mean? So preview, this is done before class, in which you skim the chapters, review the summaries, come up with questions, attend class. This might seem like a small part, but it's a really important thing to do. And while you're in class, you need to ask the questions that you came up with in the preview and take meaningful notes. Review is you go over the notes when you're finished and fill in the gaps. Note the answers to your questions. Study, repetition is the key. When you're studying, you need to ask why, how, and what if. If you have to do intense studying sessions and use the weekends to review and assess learning. So am I using study methods? Do I understand the material enough to teach it to others? That's key. If you really want to learn the material, teach it. How does it apply? How can I use this information? Where does it fit? So now, the biggest reasons why people don't do well. Didn't spend enough time studying the material. Started homework too late. Didn't learn the information that was needed. Didn't study. You looked at the notes or the book and said, I know that, and flipped the page. And you didn't apply the information. So those are the reasons why people didn't do well in a class. Here's the biggest reasons why people did well. They previewed and reviewed, did their homework, used the book and suggested problems, made flashcards for memorized information, and they practiced by explaining to others. They taught others. You never learn something completely until you actually have to teach it. Will this always work? No. And it won't work if, one, you take no personal responsibility. Remember, this is all up to you. This is on you. If you do not spend the time necessary to implement the strategies, it won't work. And if the gap between the skills that you need and the skills that you have is too large, you will not succeed. So how do you know how to learn the best? That's the presentation for the next week, learning styles. So let's get excited.